So the normal component of E also undergoes the same change, some change across the boundary, as we can see here. E1n epsilon 1, E2n epsilon 2. That means they are anti-proportional to each other. They are not proportional, they are anti-proportional to each other. So the normal component of E undergoes some change across the boundary. So En is also said to be discontinuous across the boundaries. That means the normal component of electric field and the normal component of the dielectricity, the normal component of dielectricity, both have the same proportionate conditions. Now there is the dielectric boundary condition figure. Here you can see that is the electric field 2. It has two parts, E2t and E2n. Normal to the surface, that is the tangential to the surface. E1 out of the box, E1t, E1n here. And we have tried to show you the another part. Another part is that the dielectricity D2, that is D1, that is D2, D2t and D2n, that is D2. You have the D2t and D2n here. Also the D1n and D1t here. You can also finding out these two things. So find out epsilon 1 and epsilon 2. So that is the vectorical figure or representation of dielectric boundary condition. At last we have proved it. So the dielectric boundary conditions are as follows. The tangential components are equal to each other. The normal components of dielectricity are also equal to each other. And for this that is called the law of refraction, as we have studied in optics, in physics, previously in intermediate in HSC. In this section we have studied before in SSC2. There is the law of refraction. How that can we prove the law of refraction through the dielectric boundary condition? First of all, we know that the tangential component of electric field and the dielectricity, the electric field, are equal to each other. They are continuous in the boundary. So we can write sin theta 1 and sin theta 2. How we can write? That is the Snell's law that you have previously know from the optics. The angle of the incident ray, the sinusoidal proportionate, the sinusoidal ratio of the angle of the incident ray and the angle of the refraction are equal to the coefficient of refraction. That is Snell's law. So tangential component will be E1 sin theta 1, E2 sin theta 2. And the D1n and D2n, they are the normal components. So if we use sin theta 1 and sin theta 2, that means just get onto the fact here. There is the theta 1 and there is the theta 2. There is the incident ray, that's not ray, that will be incident electric field, or you can say that it is electric field, and that is the refracted electric field to the next media. So that has an angle theta 2 and that has another angle theta 1, and that is the normal between these two. Okay, similar to the optics. If you understand this, you can also understand the optical part too. So here you can see that is the E2t and E1t. E1t is in the sinusoidal part. So E1t sin theta 1 and E2t is also sin theta 2. and if you take the normal component of d2n and also the d1n, that is d1n and d2n is here, so you can write it that that will be cos theta. Okay, the cos theta. How that can you write? If that is theta 1, so you can write the theta 1 here too, that is the theta 1, that is the theta 1. So in that part, that will be cosinusoidal, and